hopefully right here, our really, really good friend, Dominique Dawes, who's a native Montgomery County Silver Spring person like me, and obviously Olympic gold medal gymnast and owner of the Dominique Dawes Gymnastics Academy. So welcome, Dominique. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, Will. I appreciate it. And my oldest daughter, Kateri, wanted to join in as well.
Hi, Kateri. Now, how old are you, Kateri?
6.
6. So I have a daughter who's 6 too. Her name's Ava. They were on with me yesterday because we did a very important thing yesterday. So we have his name yesterday was Mr. Monkey, but we did a contest to name him, and his name now is Mortimer the Monkey. Ooh. So can you say hi to Mortimer?
Hi.
Hi. So he's my girls were with me yesterday. He helps me with Storytime. And my girls were with me to help name him. So you're going to hopefully meet them soon once we get through all this stuff. But it's really nice to meet you. And it looks like you're at your gym right now. Is that where you are, Dominic?
Yeah, we're at the Ninja Space that we're going to hopefully open this summer, part of phase 2 in Montgomery County. And we also have a preschool space that's going to be super fun. And Ava will be a part of that. And Kateri will be as well. And my other 3 kids, 4 total that I have. And then we have the rec side that's going to have rec and lower level team. It's a lot of work, but we're so looking forward to making a positive impact in the Clarksburg community.
Yeah, well, we're really happy to have you in Montgomery County. As you know, I was really pushing hard for you to stay in Montgomery County. So I'm so glad that you did.
Oh, good.
And we're excited to get that going.
Yeah, well, I'm a MoCo native, so I wasn't going to start it anywhere else, and I look forward to expanding the locations in due time and to really create a very positive, a much needed positive environment in the sport of gymnastics that I love.
No, we're going to talk more about that later, and I know you're really passionate about that. And so you are like such an icon. So I'm really happy, and you're so humble, and knowing you from years past,
decades.
working with you in the Obama administration and Let's Move, and you just always been a great person, and a role model. So we're just so happy to have you, and I know our viewers are excited to have you too.
Oh, thank you.
So we are going to read 2 very exciting books today. The first that I'm going to read is a sequel to a book that we read maybe 2 weeks ago when we had Miss Cynthia Erivo on, who was another very special guest, who was the Academy Award nominee actress in the movie Harriet. We read Grace for President, where she ran for president and she won her class election. It was very hard when she realized there had been no girl or women presidents. And so this is the sequel, Grace Goes to Washington. So we're going to read that today. And that's written by Kelly DiPuccio, and pictures are by Lee Wen Pham. And we thank them for their permission to use this, and all the great publishers that allow us to use their books during this COVID period. And then you are going to read, after I read that, you're going to read a special book too, right? You want to talk about the book you're going to read and why you chose it?
Yes, I am a big fan of Dr. Seuss, and it's going to be Oh, the Places You'll Go. And I think it's a very impactful book, not only for young people, but also for adults. And so whenever I go through moments in life where I feel discouraged, which really does happen often, I think people think because I'm a 3-time Olympian that things maybe don't get me down, but they definitely do. And I love this book because it inspires me as a mom of 4 kids. It inspires me as a wife. It inspires me as a woman that wants to inspire the next generation of youth and women in general. So I look forward to sharing that book. It's going to be a much needed boost of motivation, I think, that we all need during this time.
I'm so glad you said that. I mean, one of the things, one of the local TV stations did a story this week about Storytime, and we've been doing this since March 18th. And when the pandemic and the libraries closed, and I'm lead for libraries for the county council. And so I do a lot of library visits. We have 21 great public libraries, and then one in the Clarksburg jail, which is a great facility for folks there. And I visited just over half of them. I was doing a library tour. I obviously had to stop that. But Storytime is something that serves thousands of our residents across the county, which is not available in person. And I said, well, we need to keep this going. And so I didn't know at the time, I committed to doing it every weekday until the libraries reopened. So I think this is day 45. So we've been going for a while. So we've read almost, if you times 2, what is that? 90 books after today. Yeah. And to your point, so many life lessons, encouragement, just reminders that for kids and adults. So it's been a really great journey.
Well, and my hat goes off to you because, you know, we're all quarantined here and my house is a wreck because my 4 little kids have destroyed it. And my husband and I, you know, gotten very stressed and such. So for you to make that commitment to the community and focus on the importance of literacy and getting families together and really honestly giving some parents a break during this time where the kids are able to check in and hear positive and uplifting stories. Parents need that little bit of time just to take a breather because it's very challenging on many of us these days. And I want to commend you for your commitment. And I did see that piece and it was very heartwarming and very touching. So, you know, hats off to you.
I appreciate that. And you know, as the mom of 4 kids and your husband, and we have 4 kids as well, there's never a dull moment when you have 4 kids. So,
and especially with the homeschooling, Kakiri had to run off because she has her Zoom call now.
Sure.
So you understand that.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. You know, I was telling people the hours between, you know, like 8:30 and 10, you know, and 10:30, or depending on when the Zooms are, it's always, you know, we're trying to get kids in different parts of the house and different devices. It's a crazy thing. So
I told you my other device was stolen by a kid of mine, so I don't know where it is.
Well, I really, really appreciate you being on. So we're going to jump. I'm going to sing our welcome song, which we do. It's very easy, and you can laugh and critique me. And then and then I'll read our first book, and then I'll turn it over to you to read your book, and then we'll have a little combo and close it out.
Great.
All right. So hi to everybody, and what we do is we do shout outs to people who have written in from the day before, so that we make it you know, interactive for people. And then what we also do is say hi to everybody with our welcome song. So we're going to do that. I'm pulling up the names here because I always have the names from who wanted us to say hi. And here's who do we have today? All right. So hi to, and if in this part, if you're okay, if you could say hi to our guests too, that would, after I say their names, that would be what I'm sure they would appreciate that.
Oh.
Does that work?
Yep. That'll be great.
All right. So hi, Mateo.
Hi, Mateo. How are you?
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Isabel.
Hello, Isabel.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Sophia.
Hi, Elijah.
Hi, Elijah. How are you?
Good. Hi to Kiera.
Hi, Kiera.
And then we have hi to Leonardo.
Hi, Leonardo. Hope you're doing well.
And then 2 more. Ashley. Hi, Ashley, one of our returning champions.
Oh, hi, Ashley. Oh, champion of what?
Well, we have some regulars that come on. You know, Mateo's one of them. That just some people that are on every day. You know,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I recognize the names. Good. And then hi to Becky.
Hi, Becky. How are you?
So that's awesome. And then so we say hi. And as always, if you want me to say hi to anybody, please send your name in, type in, and we will make sure we do that. All right. So I'm going to sing our welcome song. Then we're going to get into the books. All right. Here it goes. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. Oh, with our friends at Storytime, we clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. Oh, with our friends at Storytime, we wave and sing hello. Then we get a deep voice and we stomp and sing hello. We stomp and sing hello. Oh, with our friends at Storytime, we stomp and sing hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Was that okay? Did you like that?
That was awesome. You're totally Mr. Rogers of virtual story time. I love that.
I know. I'm corny and all, but I'll take it.
Great. I love it.
All right. So let's jump into our first book, and then we'll get to your book, Grace Goes to Washington. And this is Hatchet, the publisher's Hatchet Book Group. So thank you for their permission. This is the first page we have here. It looks like she's learning about checks and balances, which are the different branches of government. We talked about this last time, remember? There's the executive, which is the president, the legislative, which is Congress, and the judicial, which is the courts. And I actually serve in the legislative body for the county, where we pass the laws for everyone, the 1 million plus people in the county. So each level of government has these 3 branches. All right. There's Grace with her hat on. She's now the president of her class. So let's see what she does. Checks and balances. There's a big chart here. One Friday afternoon in April, Mrs. Barrington, remember that's her teacher, shared a large diagram of the 3 branches of government. But Grace Campbell could not stop daydreaming about the upcoming field trip to Washington, D.C. Grace, do you know who's in charge here? Mrs. Barrington asked. Who's in charge here? Grace repeated. Principal Perez? A few of her classmates giggled. Well, said Mrs. Barrington, I suppose you could say Principal Perez is like the executive branch here at Wilson Elementary because she's the head of our school. But right now we're talking about the U.S. government. Sorry, Grace answered. The president, he or she, leads the executive branch. That's correct, Mrs. Barrington smiled. The president. The last bell of the day rang. We'll discuss this more next week, she announced. Student council members, Grace and Sam, don't forget, you have a meeting after school. Remember Sam from the first book? He was the one that cast the winning vote for Grace to win. At the meeting, classroom representatives were discussing their ideas on how to spend the money raised from their holiday bake sale. This one says a healthy mind is a healthy body. Thomas and his committee petitioned for new sports equipment. That makes sense. We got Miss Dominique today with the gym. Grace and her committee thought new books for the library was the way to go. Well, you know I'm a big fan of libraries. Mm-hmm. Principal Perez even offered her own suggestion. The music room sure could use some new instruments. Wow, they have a lot of things that they want to do, huh? Mr. Marshall, the media center teacher, listened carefully to all of the arguments and took notes. They're all good ideas, Grace later admitted to Sam. There's no way we'll agree before the vote next week. You know what I was thinking during the meeting, Sam asked? No, what? If Principal Perez is like the executive branch, I think the student council is kind of like the legislative branch because we're the elected leaders from each class and we help make decisions for the school. That's right. That's very smart. So they got the executive branch here with the desk and the seal of the president, Principal Perez, and they've got the student councils, all the class presidents, all the elected leaders from the classes. Grace considered Sam's comparison. Yeah, who knew so many people had a say in how to spend cookie money, she grumbled. The following day, Grace could hardly contain her excitement. It was finally field trip day. Got on the school bus. As the bus drove down Pennsylvania Avenue, cherry blossoms dotted the streets like pink pom-poms. Grace and her classmates visited the Lincoln Memorial, the U.S. Capitol where the legislative branch meets, and the Supreme Court building. That's where you'll find the judicial branch and the Supreme Court judges, Sam pointed out. They decide if our rules and our laws are fair. Kind of like Mr. Marshall does at our student council meetings, Grace added. During a tour of the White House, home of the executive branch, Grace's dreams of becoming president felt even more real. She got to go in the Oval Office. I used to work there. It's so cool. And I think Dominica, you've been in the Oval Office, right? You did it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
It is pretty exciting.
When I first saw it, I always thought I remember the first day I started working, I was like, well, this is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Did you feel that way? Or?
I thought it was very tight, but again, it was pretty exceptional though as well.
Right, but it was still, I mean, obviously it was cool, but yeah, I just expected it to be huge. Their final stop of the day, this was a great place to stop, was the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Yes. Grace studied the words engraved on the monument and thought about their meaning. I'll read them for you. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a greater person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in. Very important words. Mm-hmm. At recess the next day, arguments about what to purchase for the school grew more heated. Look at this crummy basketball, Clara complained. It's practically worthless. At least you have a ball, Fletcher groaned. There are 2 new books in the Ninja Wizard series, but our library doesn't have either one. Hannah lobbied the loudest for new instruments. Well, I, for one, am sick and tired of playing the recorder in music class. Principal Perez is right. They all couldn't agree. Grace glanced at Thomas, who was usually quiet. She looked past him to see who he was staring at. Grace didn't recognize the boy sitting all alone. He must be new, she thought. He looked kind of sad. Just then, the bell rang and students scattered. Wait, Grace called out to the boy. You forgot something. Grace handed him his sketchbook. I like your drawing, she said. Thanks, said the boy with a smile. Grace caught up to Thomas in the hallway. I have an idea, she said. Let's see. A few days later, the student council's last meeting of the year was being called to order. Bake sale profits, vote today, it said on the board. Excuse me, Grace interrupted. Before we vote, Thomas and I would like to introduce you to somebody. This is Aman. He's new to our school. We'd like all of you to consider one more option for how to spend the bake sale money. There's Aman. Together, they rolled out a big poster. We're calling it the Friendship Mall, they said proudly. Aman helped us to design it. It's a place where you can go at recess to let other students know when you need a friend, Aman explained. And they have a great diagram of the wall. It says give, love, and share, a whole bunch of areas for kids to meet. Next, Thomas spoke about their field trip to Washington. And Grace read a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Quote, a finer, kinder world starts with us in the choices we make. She concluded, thank you for listening. Everyone clapped. Principal Perez wiped away a few tears because it was so nice. Mr. Marshall pounded his gavel. It's time to vote. After the ballots were collected from each classroom representative and the votes were tallied, Student Council President Grace Campbell peeked at the results and grinned. It's a unanimous decision, she announced excitedly. All members are in favor of, what do we think? The Friendship Mall. Everyone's so happy. Look at them on. The room filled with happy cheers. Principal Perez took a seat, and then much like the president signs a bill into law, she approved the election results, making the decision official. Today, you put your own wants and needs aside in order to serve others, she said, beaming. That is true leadership. It sure is. This time, everyone agreed. And they're at the ribbon cutting for the Friendship Mall. And that's so, so nice.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool? One of those things that, as a legislator myself, it's always good to remember. We're always trying to put the needs of others before, and it can be difficult, but it's important. So, all right, you ready?
I am.
Okay, so we have another really good book with another really strong message. And so I'm going to turn it over to the wonderful, amazing Dominic Dawes to read Oh, the Places You'll Go.
Great. Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Oh, the places you'll go. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the guy or the gal who will decide where to go.
Good addition.
Exactly right. You'll look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along, you'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up, you'll be seeing great sights, you'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then you'll be left in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare stand out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simply, it's not, I'm afraid you will find. Simple, it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker-upper to make up his or her mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down a long, wiggled road at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting, perhaps, for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig of curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy or girl. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be played, and the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame, you'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV.
You know something about that.
A little bit, but I know about falling too.
That's right.
When they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll be playing against you. All alone, whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hack and cracks howl. Onward, up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98 3/4% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai, Ally Van and Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Oh, the places you'll go. I'm so passionate about that book.
Yeah, I could tell. It's such an important book. Yeah, tell us why.
You know, it's interesting. I read that book often to my kids, and selfishly, I feel like it's for me, but I do want to help them realize that some of the greatest lessons that they'll learn in life will not come from the times that they succeed or they're standing on top of that mountain or that podium like I experienced in 1996 at the Olympics, but it's those moments in life where you fail and you're alone and you have to be with your thoughts and you have to take the time to look out and see what you have in your circle and to realize, you know, is this a healthy circle that I have around me? And again, like I mentioned earlier, this has been a book that opens my eyes to just the journey in life. And that you can't give up. You got to keep going on. You got to keep persevering. And that's the message I share with the women's groups that I speak to in corporate America, to young kids, you name it. You've seen me speak a little bit. That it's those painful moments in life that do serve a greater purpose, and they help you develop your passion, and they help you make a greater impact. And that's why I wanted to have my gym in the background, because what motivates me to open the Dominique Dawes Gymnastics Academy is not the win that I had in the Olympics. It's really about that whole journey and recognizing that the sport of gymnastics and even ninja is a beautiful activity and a beautiful sport, and that you can truly lift up the life of a child in this setting and plant some amazing positive seeds to help them reach their full potential in whatever it is they choose to do in life. And I truly feel, again, there's a young audience there, so I'm not going to go farther into it. The sport of gymnastics is a beautiful sport, but it has a lot of unhealthy people in this sport, a lot of unhealthy people. And being a 3-time Olympian and a mom of 4 kids, and I want my kids to love the sport, not like I did, because they have their own identity. I'm not going to push it on them, but I want them to have this healthy experience, one that's going to leave them as a whole individual with a true healthy sense of self. And that is not the case that we have in the sport of gymnastics, sadly, today.
Yeah, no, I so, when you told me your vision for it, it's just, it's such a beautiful thing, because like you said, there's, particularly in gymnastics, and I'm sure you witnessed it and experienced it and know people have dealt with it. There was a lot of unhealthy and bad things going on, but to have someone like you who knows that and can do it the right way, I think is just going to be such a blessing for so many here in our county, in our state, and in our nation. I'm sure it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, and I'm just super excited. My husband's very involved, and honestly, I am more of like the realist, maybe a little bit more pessimistic. I'm very type A. Right. I got a choleric personality. I work till 3 o'clock in the morning. He thinks I'm a vampire because I don't sleep. But it's very uplifting. He's positive. My husband's been a school teacher for nearly 20 years and continues to get correspondence from his kids saying, Mr. Thompson, you are the greatest teacher that I've ever had. You've impacted my life. And that's the kind of gym environment that myself and my husband want to create. I want kids to come in the gym. You don't have to become a competitive athlete, but to have a positive experience and know that you're special. And you're not special because, oh, you're striving to go to the Olympics or you're going to make this brand, but you're special because of who you are and how God made you. And you've already got this amazing gift in you. And that's why I'm so excited to bring on a team of positive staff that already love working with kids. They are happy individuals themselves, and they're going to plant some amazing positive seeds in every single kid that walks through our doors. Not just the talented ones, but every single kid that walks through our doors. And I'm super excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And your husband's an awesome guy and an MCPS teacher, right?
He is in the Montgomery County, not public schools.
Public school, but he teaches in Montgomery County.
He does teach in Montgomery County, and he's a pretty awesome rock star.
I agree.
He'll be much more of a rock star here than I will. I will say that.
Well, we have something. I used to say this about Barack Obama, and I think it's true for you and I. We both married up as far as like the quality of person. My wife, Michelle, who you met, is amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's always good.
Yeah, Michelle Obama, like, because you were saying Barack married up as well.
Yes.
Michelle Obama was truly one of my favorite people that I got to work with when I did some work, being the co-chair of the President's Council on Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. And I work with all different administrations. I get myself involved in bipartisan issues. Health and fitness is so important. Literacy, so important. But Michelle, she walks the walk, and she's, the real deal.
She's a serious athlete too. Before we let you go, the point in the book, which I want you to say a little bit something about, is that people see you're Dominique Dawes, you're gold medal Olympian. They think everything's perfect. One of the things that underscored in the book, and what people might be feeling right now, especially our young people. My daughter had a trouble with this morning. She came in and she was like, "Daddy, I don't want to be inside forever. I want to go somewhere."
Okay.
And so what would you say to the young men and young women who are feeling a little unsure about themselves? They're not sure what's going to happen. They've been out of school. They're a little worried. They don't know what's going to happen in life. What would you say to them?
Oh my gosh. I would say, and it's not even just to the young people, but I mean, adults, we're afraid, and I hate to say that even to our children, because, we think maybe we thought we had control over certain things in life, and we never thought that this freedom that we've lived with would ever be taken away from us. But, one thing that's very important with myself and what my family, and my husband's giving me a look like, hello, I got 4 kids, is
we're wrapping up. This is the last one.
I would say you got to give it over to God. You got to give it over to God, because none of us have control over this situation here. And prayer is so important in my household. I'm not pushing a particular religion, but it's very important in our household, because I don't have the answers. My husband doesn't have the answers. And so when our kids have expressed some concern, even our 6-year-old is like, well, what am I going to do for first grade? Because we're like, kindergarten's wrapping up. And she's like, but what am I going to do for first grade? Like, she doesn't want this anymore. Clearly, we're failing at homeschooling. I will say that.
I think, you got to give yourself grace. That's what my wife says. You got to give yourself grace. No matter what you're doing enough, because it's difficult.
Yeah. It's very difficult. And I get on my husband. I'm like, you're a school teacher. You should be able to do this. He's like, this is not normal with 4 kids, a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and 2-year-old twins. It's a challenge. But to give it over to God, to pray, to recognize that, again, through any painful moment in life, experience in life, there is a purpose for this. It'll develop a passion for, something. I'm not sure what God's leading us towards, and we will be able to make a greater impact. I, by nature, I don't know if you know me that well, but I, by nature, am very introverted. I am a very private person. It is very hard for me to come out of my shell. It was very hard for me to go to the Olympics. It's very hard for me to go on stage and speak. Believe it or not, I look super comfortable, but on the inside, I am a mess. But Michelle Obama used to tell me, fake it till you make it. And I truly believe in what I'm doing and the impact that I'm making. And I think when our young people eventually develop a passion for something outside of themselves in life, they will have that confidence. And again, so during this experience that we're all faced with, take some time for prayer, ask God for guidance, ask him to open your eyes and show you the way and lead you the way. And I truly think, it'll be a rebirth of certain passions, even in our young people today.
That's right. And when you fall down, that's part of getting up. So you can't get up unless you fall down.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to let you go, and we really appreciated having you. And like I said, just honored to count you a friend, and look forward to the gym opening and all the great things you're going to do. So bye to everybody.
You, Michelle, and your whole family up here. Would love to have you guys here.
Awesome. Good to see you. Thanks so much. And with that, I'm going to sing our goodbye song. Miss Dominique can go if she needs to, but it's going to take 30 seconds. And this is how we do it. We clap and sing goodbye. We clap and sing goodbye. Oh, with our friends at Storytime, we clap and sing goodbye. We wave and sing goodbye. We wave and sing goodbye. With our friends at Storytime, we wave and sing goodbye. Mortimer says bye too. Bye, everybody. See you later.
See you later. Thanks, Will.
No problem.